Many horses were destroyed in the making of this film. I am Jackie.
All for one, but not for me. I'm Justin.
Athos, Porthos, no thankos. I'm Sam, and this is Three Musketeers on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
No! What? Hang on!
It stinks.
Hang on! Get to the chopper!
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. First episode of the 20s starts with a movie from 1992 starring Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, and Oliver Pratt, and Chris O'Donnell, and Tim Curry, and Michael Wincott,
Gabriel
Anwar, and probably some...
Paul McGann.
Probably some townies running around. Called Three Musketeers, and it was Sam's pick, and we are ready to go. Go.
Tim Curry did great.
Okay.
I
think this is the worst he's ever done in any film I've ever seen.
You know what? It's very. You could put this next to The Shadow in terms of.
Oh yeah.
He's turned it up. It sucks in both of them, but I think I might like The Shadow more, although I think he sucks more in The Shadow.
Yeah. Which is a rare thing for Tim Curry because he is one of my all-time favorite actors, who's brilliant in everything he ever does except for this in The Shadow.
I think in both cases what happens is that he has an inability to not turn it to 11.
Right.
And both films are at a 3.
Right.
And so he just careens out of control.
Sir, this is a 35-mile-per-hour school zone. your freeway speeds here, buddy.
Yeah.
Jackie, you have seen this movie before.
Oh, yeah. I watched it when I was a kid.
Yeah. Came
And-
out, we were all about 10, 11, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and I loved the song
Oh, God.
with Bryan Adams and Rod Stewart and Sting.
It's awful.
I thought it was great. I ran around singing it.
When you were an 11-year-old kid.
I was like, oh, it's on the radio. And I'd turn it back up. My mom would be like, oh, God.
I think we all loved this movie when we were kids. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I've probably seen this shit like 10 times,
Yeah.
maybe more. I
Right.
had it on VHS.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah, because, when you're at that tender age, adventure's pretty much your genre. I mean, you want adventure and comedy. Every other genre can pretty much fuck right off.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of adventure going on before this, other than, adventure comedies like Back to the Future and Indiana Jones and things of that nature, which Indiana Jones is kind of its own genre of adventure,
Sure.
but this type of adventure there wasn't a ton of, so we all kind of glommed onto it.
Yeah, pirate movies were
Mhm.
out of favor since the 70s. The
Right.
last time they did the Three Musketeers was the 70s.
Mhm.
So swashbuckling and high adventure was sort of down and out in the late 80s.
Yeah. So when this came out, it was like, oh my God, finally they made my movie. And then you turned 12 and you were like, oh my God, that movie sucks.
Yeah. Well, it came out in 93. So
Was it?
yeah.
IMDb says 92.
This is 93.
Okay.
And that Son of a Woman was 92.
Oh,
They couldn't have done both of them.
Oh, they smell like tuna.
What?
Oh, my God. What did you just say?
Oh, God.
You're gross.
What the fuck is that movie about? Scent of a Woman? Are you talking about her crotch? I mean,
Have you ever seen it?
yeah, I have.
It sucks.
It sucks.
And what is it even?
You're out of order.
Yeah.
But I mean, seriously, the title is Scent of a Woman. Oh, there's a woman in here. Let's get her.
Yeah, it also happens in Silence of the Lambs, remember?
Yeah, but they're fucking psychopaths.
Yeah.
And they're not like, wow, that guy's so cool. He's driving a Ferrari blind. God, fuck yourself, goddamn Scent of a Woman.
I only watched that movie once.
Yeah, me too. And I was like, this is not for me.
Oscar. Give it an Oscar.
Yeah.
God damn it. Fucking it and Titanic can take a bath. Three Musketeers, Sam, please.
You will it made $53 million against $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that it only cost $30 million.
Yeah.
Even in 93, that's a lot in 93,
I'm
but
kind
it's
of
like,
surprised it only made 53.
that's a decent turnaround domestic. I
Yeah,
mean,
but I would think double. They got to double their money.
well, I think at this point, especially the way they approached this, I feel that the film got half as much support as the soundtrack.
Yeah.
This was right in that point where like movies were almost being made in order to sell soundtracks.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, The Bodyguard.
All have Bryan Adams.
The Bodyguard doesn't have Bryan Adams. It's got Whitney fucking Houston. Bryan Adams. And I love you.
And you said all when there was only 2 on the list. All 2 of those have Bryan Adams. No, they don't. Okay.
Boom shakalaka.
You know what? Might be a little tired today.
Dances with Wolves, also another very important
Really?
soundtrack. Yeah,
that had Bryan Adams in it.
Yep. He.
I think I'm thinking of Kevin Costner.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
think
mixing
so.
the two up.
Yeah, they're
So
just
I'm
the
like-
same guy.
Everything is
Yeah.
Robin Hood, the
Right.
Prince of Thieves
Yeah.
soundtrack.
It's like, oh yeah, Kevin Costner was in that one. Oh, and he was in that Whitney Houston movie, and he was in Dances with Wolves.
Yep. Bull Durham.
Yeah,
Another
but
great soundtrack.
you got to figure the 3 people that made the most money off of this are
Oh, 100%.
Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart,
Except for
and
maybe
Sting.
Chaz. Chaz is probably pretty expensive at this point in time.
If the movie only cost 30,
He's probably getting 10 of it.
there's no way he had to do it for 5.
No way.
I don't think they're going to give him $10 million.
You don't think they'd give him 10? Well, no, they
No,
didn't
I
give.
think this is when his career starts to kind of slide downhill.
Give it another 3 years.
3-4 years.
Yeah.
This
we've
Hot
got
Shots Part
Shots.
2.
Yeah, we got Hot Shots coming out.
Yeah, he filmed this back to back. So Hot Shots Part 2 was filming right before this was filming.
Yeah.
So this might have been sort of where it starts to go out from underneath him because it sucks.
Right.
Has anybody ever thought that Charlie Sheen was a good-looking dude?
Apparently 5,000 women.
5,000 women have thought he's a good-looking dude. Wait, you're not on the good-looking dude list?
He's not on my good-looking dude list.
You're in a very small minority, Jackie. Lots of ladies are like, oh my God, Charlie Sheen. Yeah, he was a dreamboat.
Is Kiefer Sutherland on your...
No.
No.
I
So is it just me, or does Kiefer Sutherland's hair look like... His hairstyle during this whole period was I didn't take a bath today hair?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yucky.
It's yucky.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Kiefer Sutherland? That guy stinks. Stinks.
At some point, he did the tough guy thing, and everybody was like, we like that, or Hollywood's like,
Ooh.
oh, you're a great tough guy. We want to give the world more of that. And he's like, I'm pretty sure I suck at it, and we're still here.
Yeah.
We're still with a guy who's obviously probably able to do other things better.
I don't know if he can. I've never seen it. I mean, Stand By Me's fine. But
Well, he was in Eye for an Eye, too.
Eye for an Eye. Oh, yeah.
Where he was the rapist guy.
Yeah.
And I thought he really nailed
Okay.
that one.
All right.
He was creepy as fuck.
Yeah,
in
he
that
could
movie.
be a good creeper. Him and James Spader could have a creep off.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But because that was Donald Sutherland's gig for a long time, was being a creepo. Smart, highly intelligent. Like John Malkovich is like, God, I wish I could be Donald Sutherland.
I think a lot of people, Donald Sutherland does a lot of things. Because he had that whole thing where he was the...
Well, he's a weird looking dude, so they always cast him as like, you're the weird looking guy in this movie.
We did that groovy shit for like 6 or 7 years,
Yeah,
where
that's
every character were like, oh, they want the groovy Donald Sutherland. I was like, all right, man, positive waves, whatever. I'll do whatever you're asking.
Where's the food cart?
Where's the food cart?
Okay. What else we got?
So the director, Stephen Herrick, also did Critters, was his first movie.
Okay.
Then it was Bill and Ted's.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Then the Mighty Ducks, then this.
Oh. Yeah, Mighty Ducks fits in pretty well with this.
Mighty Ducks is pretty good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's still kind of hokey,
He started working for Disney.
warm and fuzzy tummy movies.
Well, right after this, you did Mr. Holland's Opus.
Okay, that's different than this movie.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, I mean, nominated for many Oscars. Dreyfuss
Dreyfuss.
won.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't
That's
then. Okay.
why I'm Richard Dreyfuss is
But-
because of the fit that he pitched for not winning off that movie.
Okay.
Is why the Richard Dreyfuss is a fussy asshole joke is because he didn't win
Yeah, him and Spike Lee should hang out a little bit more.
with Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye.
Have Kanye bitch about it for him. But they're like, you know what? I'm Richard Dreyfuss, and I don't want to hang out with Kanye.
Spike
hangs out
Lee's
with
like,
Trump.
I don't want to hang out with Kanye. you imagine Spike Lee and Kanye together? Oh, God.
Oh, Spike Lee would knife that motherfucker.
Spike Lee would fuck that guy up. Okay.
So I've pieced together my conspiracy of really how there's a bunch of, non-interesting things about this production, but what sounds interesting is that really this movie started as a race. TriStar was going to do a Musketeers movie as well, and they had John Depp.
Okay. All right.
So Disney's like, we got to get on this. Let's get Chaz.
And
so originally Chaz is supposed to be Porthos.
Okay.
But
He's not fat enough.
Right.
because he's shooting Hot Shots Part 2, he's not going to be able to do the rigorous training schedule. So apparently, Chris O'Donnell, Kiefer Sutherland, and Oliver Platt had to do 6 weeks of rigorous fencing and horseback riding for the roles. Watching the movie, can you tell the difference?
No.
In fact, I feel like Shaz is on screen sword fighting more than either of anybody but Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah, and it should be also noted that there is a lot of stuntmen doing most of the swashbuckling in this movie, so they couldn't even fucking do it.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah, Chaz couldn't make it, so he couldn't make it to the rigorous training schedule that gave us so many stuntmen clearly in shots.
Right. Good thing.
But apparently also because they bring in Platt to play Porthos instead, who doesn't have that many swashbuckling scenes.
Right.
Don't understand it. He was supposed to be the Porthos in the other production, so they snaked him out of there. And then they had Winona Ryder on board, they were going to snake Johnny Depp too.
Right.
And then she's like, fuck this, I'm out.
No,
I'm bailing, this
I'm
is stupid.
A lot better than this movie.
And apparently Depp was like, fuck that, I'm out too on the other Musketeers movie, because that one went into production hell, and it finally made it out of the other end of that in 2001 as The Musketeer.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
but that was 7 years later.
Or 2005 as Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, actually that's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
This movie started as a Disney's hard-on to get John Depp, and it doesn't end until about the same time as The Musketeer came out with Pirates of the Caribbean. And it's like, wow, what a weird,
I don't
wild
know
ride.
If it has ended. I hope Disney has walked away. Actually, fuck Disney. Go ahead and have John Depp. You guys can hang out. You get Tom Cruise in there too. Get some Tom Cruise working for Disney. I'm good with it.
So Chris, the young
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell,
He was the third choice.
But
Brad Pitt said, fuck off.
Oh,
Steven fucking Dorff said no.
Oh my God.
Are you sure that they weren't trying to cast Stephen Dorff for Michael Wincott's role?
No, they were
interchangeable guys.
No, they're not. Because Stephen Dorff would have been really young. He would have been.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's right in that. Like Brad Pitt was probably too old to play. Even though it doesn't matter because Brad Pitt is now almost 60 and he looks like he's 30 finally.
Right.
Because he's a butt.
Yeah, dick.
But yeah, no,
he's almost 60.
Yeah, he's no spring chicken, Jackie. He's been around
like
for
55,
a long
56, something like that.
He's
and he finally looks 30.
Yeah,
older than my parents.
And he looks like your child.
Yeah, he looks like us. Oh.
What were you going to ask something, Jack?
Yeah, so Chris
O'Donnell.
Robin.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Was this before or after Batman?
Well before.
This is 5 years or 4 years.
4 years before, yeah.
Before Batman and Robin.
So is he a thing yet?
I think Son of a Woman.
No, Batman Forever is his first appearance as Robin, so that's 95. So this is just a couple years
later.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, so no, Son of a Woman shot him into being in movies.
He was in that movie? I don't remember him.
He's
the guy.
The handler.
He's actually the main character of the film.
Yeah, right.
I just kind of blocked that whole movie out. That was so fucking dumb.
There's somebody in here. Oh, but it's not a woman. Damn. It smells like Fromunda cheese, not tuna.
If you ever go blind, I am just going to open up a can of tuna fish every day and just set it on the counter.
Where's she at? I can smell her.
Lastly, and this is possibly anecdotal, but a highly unreliable source that the guy that made the music, Michael Kamen, does really enjoy the rides at Disneyland, so it was a nice pairing.
Oh my God. Well, that's important.
Yeah, I'm glad we broke that news.
Yeah. It's spelled Kamen is his last name. He likes the rides. Kamen Rider. Oh, God damn it. Oh god damn it! No, he doesn't. He's like
Let's start over.
Let's
start the whole podcast over.
he's much like the guacamole Foley in that he doesn't really exist. Well, he exists, but I don't know whether he likes rides or not.
I'm not even going to cut that. We're just going to start over. We're starting from the beginning, episode 1. That's how bad that joke was. Okay, Jackie, costume talk, period piece. How'd everybody look?
I really like the Musketeers draperies.
Yeah. Was that a thing? I mean, is that
Yeah,
what they work? They look like the drapes. Let's be honest.
I don't know what their tunic.
Tunic,
They said it
yeah.
in there. Yeah, it's a tunic.
Yeah.
Tunics were more like a cloak without a hood.
No.
Well, they called him a tunic, so I'm going to
Yeah.
go with it. But at the same time, they were wrong about everything, so maybe they were wrong about that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I really like the Musketeers tunics.
Okay.
They were really, really pretty, and the color schemes on them were really nice. Now, the Cardinals guys, they can take a shit, okay?
What?
Because their tunics were bright red.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had the crappiest looking cross. They were like, well, just get these ones done. And there was no flair to them. It was just like, okay, here's a white cross on a red thing with a black line in the white cross, and it just looked like, it kind of reminded me of like the Hobo Jesus Saves sign. And so I was like, this is dumb. And then the Cardinal outfit, it kind of looked like his upper body tunic that ended at the bottom of his waist didn't have armholes in it or slots, and so when he lifted up his hands, his tunic always came up too, and I don't think that that's supposed to happen.
For dramatic flair, Jackie, when you're a villain, you've got to have a huge cape that flows and you swing it around with your arms and shit, so it seems like you're bigger than you are.
Yeah, he did some pretty good Vader turns.
Yeah, Vader turn, yeah.
Yeah, but he couldn't like lift his arms past the tunic's ability.
You know, it's fashion, not function. Can we do cloaks? Can like the three of us start cloaks back up where we don't wear coats or
You could just call your bathrobe a house cloak.
yeah, it's my house cloak, but you wrap a bathrobe. A robe is different than a cloak. I think we should
sure.
bring back cloaks. I think cloaks are sweet, but I'm pretty big fantasy dork, so I might have some personal bias. Jackie, would you wear a cloak?
I would if it was made in the right color and with the right fabric.
Well, red, obviously, or black. I mean, it's villainous.
No.
Okay, all right.
Dark emerald green.
Well, that's what.
And it's got to have a sweet. This is a lady brooch, not a dude brooch.
Okay.
Cloak. Sorry. It's a cloak. Yeah. But I would also want it to like clasp at the front with like this huge jeweled like animal of some kind.
Okay.
And and I want the hood to be kind of starchy. So that way it wouldn't exactly sit on my head and ruin my hair. So it just, it's kind of just, it comes up and then you got these little safety net things that you clock into the front so then it doesn't blow off.
Now, would you be a cloak wearer who would carry a bow, or would you prefer to use magic?
Magic.
Okay, all right.
I don't want to carry anything.
You need magic if you're going to wear a cloak.
I think you kind of
Because here's the thing. If you're not using magic, you know what a cloak does? It gets stuck on doors.
Yeah.
It catches on any drawer.
Sucks
any
you into
sort
airplane
of,
engines.
Yeah, anything that can go wrong, you trip over it. It's like you're putting yourself in a bag and throwing yourself on the ground when you wear a cloak. That's what's going to happen.
All right, so also not functional. Maybe that's why we stopped wearing them, because
Yeah.
everybody was getting injured from their clothes.
And most of the cloaks were like, I'm just wearing my sleeping bag.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little too hot. Yeah, okay. Well, we should probably talk about a movie.
Yeah. I also thought that the king's clothing was rather childish, and he was supposed to be coming of age to take over
my
the
God,
throne.
The fucking
But
king.
he was dressed like he was like 6, and his mom was taking him to
like
church.
What's that painting? Little Boy Blue or something like that.
Yeah.
Also a French painting. Can't remember who did that. But yeah,
Same guy that did Pink Lady or whatever.
no, I don't think so.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the king. Why is he how he is?
It looks
in
to me
pastels and
And doofusy?
Yeah, no, it was like he came out and they're like the costume department and the makeup people went all out to make him look as stupid as they could.
Right.
And he came out and the director's like, no, that's not enough. He needs to look more like a doofus. And they're like, oh, God. And then like one lady's like, I got a fucking ape drape wig. And they're like,
Slap an ape strip on him.
and then they're like, okay, well, we ran out of dumb shit for you to wear, so you're gonna have to do some real acting here. Walk like you're an idiot. like kind of hunched forward, half bent over, like you have to pee, but you've been refusing to pee because you don't want to quit playing video games, and act like you're 6. He's
Right.
like, okay. And he does that, and you're like, what? This is the fucking king?
The king.
Even if he's a boy king, this isn't even a boy king. This is just like Jimmy the Idiot Boy.
Right. Like, if you're that king and, like, I am now the king of France, there's going to be a revolt. You're going to get usurped. That's just how it is. Like, I don't even really fault Cardinal Richelieu. He's like, dude, this guy can't lead shit. He can't even lead himself to the toilet properly.
No, he's half bent over. Looks like he's had to pee for an hour, and he won't do it because he's too busy playing with something.
Right. Yeah, we need something else. We need to prop somebody else in there. Might as well be me.
And then it was weird because the queen,
Gabrielle Anwar.
she looks like she's probably 10 years older than him.
Yeah, there's a little Amidala Anakin shit going on here.
And then he comes out and the king's trying to act all tough and you're like, oh no, just push him over and stab him. Like, you don't need to have this whole ruse going, Cardinal. Just fucking push him over and stab him. Nobody's going to get in the way.
Yeah.
At this point, all the royal guards are in there. Just fucking kill him.
Like, it would make sense for him to be such a doofus if Cardinal Richelieu has been threatening him physically the entire time. But everything about the plot against the king in this movie is behind the scenes. The king could have been a really tough guy, a kingly king, and still the same plot would have worked fine with it. It's just they like try to make him a weenie so that at the end he could have some sort of redemption for his relationship with his wife that we don't even really give a fuck about. I mean, not that we don't give a fuck about his wife. We don't give a fuck about the relationship because it's not really established at all.
No, it's not.
Just really weird choice making him such a weenus.
No. And even if there was he sticks out like a sore thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's just like a flashing red light the whole time he's on screen. Like, this other movie's happening. You're like, whoa, what's that guy doing there?
Well, and it was Boob City in this movie.
Yeah, it was.
Many corsets.
Many corsets, lots of boobs, lots of aerial shots of boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you lay down on the pillow and she's gonna help you back into life or whatever. Boobs, and they just kept the boobs in the shot the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And even when the women are being heroic, boobs,
Yep.
boobs while you're being heroic.
Yep.
Aerial shots of your boobs.
Many heaving bosoms were shot in this movie. You guys ready to get in this?
Yeah.
I think it's time. Let's start out with introduction to the cave of fire that lives under the castle in Paris town, I guess. I guess this whole movie's supposed to take place in Paris. Is that what we're gathering here? Is Paris the seat of government in France at this point? Vienna?
Or have they moved the royal palace
They've
from
already
Paris
moved it
to
to
Vienna?
All right. And there just happens to be a lake of fire underneath.
Or Versailles.
Versailles.
Yeah, Versailles. Vienna's in Italy.
Yeah.
Austria.
Yeah. It's Versailles.
Versailles, yeah. That's where they're supposed
Okay.
to be.
And so there's a cave of fire. Can we get to that part where we talk about the cave of fire? Why is there a cave of fire underneath the fucking goddamn castle?
Because that was their escape route in case they were ever attacked. You could go down through the dungeons and you'd get in a boat and you'd fucking hit the rips.
The rips.
Hit the rips? Like
Yeah.
Rip City?
Like riptides.
Did you mean get pitted? Like
No.
like the
Riptide?
castle? They're going to overthrow us, dude. I'm totally gonna get some gnar now, bro.
Yeah. We're going to hit the rips. What? We're going to escape only to be killed by Undertow.
Okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't think you build your castle on top of a lake. It's gonna sink, and then you're gonna have to build another one, and that one's gonna sink into the mud. But the third one, it also fell down and crumbled and sank into the mud.
If you were building a castle and there was like a dungeon and a secret escape route
A fire.
already there, I mean, why not?
Well, just I don't fucking know. Anyways, it's suspicious to me that there's a cave with a lake of fire underneath their castle. But anyways,
I think those are just torches.
no, the water was burning. Cardinal Richelieu's on this boat, and it's right next to their dungeon as well. I guess that's like, hey, there's a sign on the way out that says escape that way, dungeon the other way.
Yeah.
Because he's got peasants locked up that have, I guess, stolen some stuff so they can sell it so they can buy food for their family because the cardinal's destroying France. And so he's murdering peasants, basically.
Yeah.
Yep. But I mean, this entering scene though, I want to comment, is super long, and Tim Curry has to stand there like Captain Morgan for the entire thing.
Right.
And I'm like, I wonder if they took an entire day to shoot this. Like, it's just
that would be the type of movie this is shoot that entire thing. Elsewhere, Robin is dueling with
Paul McGann.
a guy who's really cares a lot about his sister's honor because apparently D'Artagnan banged her. I guess
he's like, yep, yeah, lady, I like it. And then her brother saw, and he's like, duel.
honor duel. Yeah.
and I can only imagine what the sister looks like if
Right.
the brother looks like this.
Right. Yeah. Paul McGann's not a handsome guy.
Well, and they femmed him up
They did that too.
a lot,
Yeah.
and then they gave him the high
But
pitch.
I wouldn't say they femmed him. They pompous him up. They Frenchied him up quite a bit.
Yeah, and he did so good. Apparently, they were like, you know what? They snuck him in another role. Paul McGann got to play 2 parts in this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I looked for it again, and I still can't find it, but he has another lined role where they put him in dark hair and a dark mustache, and then he lowers his voice and pretends to be somebody else. He does so good that I couldn't find him, and I was looking for him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah, that's interesting.
I thought he was the guard on top of the tower that falls to
could
his
have-
death.
That's what I was suspicious of, that he was that guy too, because that guy looked like he had a super fake mustache.
Yeah. And the same long kind of nose, and he looked familiar.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think it's that guy.
Maybe. Okay. Anyway, so they're fighting over her honor, and some riders ride up and chase after D'Artagnan.
The other brothers.
Oh, that's who those guys
Yeah.
are? They instantly knew that, hey, okay.
Well, they were looking for him, and the brother, right? This is the scenario I've created.
Okay.
So they're looking for their brother, and they go to the sister, and she's like in the kitchen, making some milk,
Yeah.
a riptide,
A riptide?
Yeah.
riptide,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh yeah, he went to go beat up D'Artagnan in a duel just over there," and they were like, "Oh, tell us."
What? Oh, no.
He's getting paid without us, and so then they all jumped on their horses and took off.
Okay. That was quite the scenario. They walked into a kitchen, saw their sister. Hey, where's our brothers? Oh, he's out fighting D'Artagnan. That was your entire setup and then payoff right
They're
there.
like, oh, yeah.
Whoa, man. I also want to ask, how do you think that they keep those hats on when they
The
ride?
tats are just really fucking tight.
The tats?
The hats.
Oh,
the
the
hats
hats.
are really tight.
Yeah, because now we get into the chase scene, right? And I'm just looking at these hats, and I mean, like some of the time, the fabric is completely blown back, and the hat is just on there.
I thought Hollywood hats also had sometimes picks in them so that they pick into your hair.
Yeah, pick into your hair,
Yeah.
depending on how fast you're riding. And then sometimes they actually just put a string around your neck.
Mhm.
If you're in a long shot, they're going to string it down. If it's like close, the wind, you're not going as fast, and motion seems better with the right lens. So it can just be a tight hat at that point, even though it looks like you're going faster, you're not.
And sometimes they glue them to your head
Forever.
with really strong glue, and that's what happened to Bruce Willis's hair. He took his hat off one time and just.
Yep, that sounds about right.
That's my dumb joke. Can we start
Yep.
over? Can we start over from the beginning of the
He's
podcast?
also Gallagher. The same guy, if you didn't know.
So anyways, yeah, they ride after him. There's some hijinks. There's some collateral damage caused here by killing peasants.
It's, yeah. He's like, oh, I have to escape. And it's like, okay, well, why don't you fuck up the whole town, huh?
The people die. People die here.
Like, he fucks up the entire town.
Right.
Like, everything that this village has is completely destroyed by his farewell ride.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, and not to mention the horses are falling over. Like, how did somebody not seriously get hurt? Like, or hoofed in the head?
Yeah. Oh well, we can infer that many peasants died from hoof face.
So facing.
Yeah.
This is post the point where you could kill horses, too. So not a lot. Like, when was that? When did that happen? 85, 86?
Wait, what? There was a point where you could kill horses?
Yeah, the horses died in movies a lot.
Okay.
Not good stuff. And dogs and everything else. I mean, we did. Remember the fucking tiger? They painted
but
black
that
and
was
then
an
it died
accident.
from. No,
That was from
they
Beastmaster.
spray painted a cat
Right, but
and it died. It's
They
not.
didn't
a fucking,
know he was
like,
gonna die.
They could have fucking
read the label.
Yeah. I mean,
Do not paint cats.
or people or any like, well, people die when you paint them. Let's see what happens with this tiger. It'll be different, right?
Who broke that up, PETA or the ASPCA?
I believe it was Pete. It was probably ASPCA.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Sarah
yeah.
McLachlan went to Congress and said, I've had enough.
I don't know exactly when, but it was in the mid 80s. I thought that they were finally like, nope, no more of this cruelty to animals business.
God,
You
I
can't
would
kill
have figured
them.
a lot earlier than that. Okay, anyways. So, back in Paris, or not Paris, back at wherever the capital's at, Versailles, Michael Wincott, who doesn't have a character name that I could ever once hear
Yeah,
in a
he
movie.
does. Remember? Because later they're going to Rutherford or something. Because
Oh, yeah, it was Darth Vader. That's right.
Yeah, he is Darth Vader.
He's Darth Vader.
They're both Darth Vader. The Cardinal's doing Vader turns. He's
Yeah, right.
stealing all the scenes from Vader, and he's dressed
Right.
in all black.
And the plot.
yeah.
Yeah. So Michael Wincott is a guy named Darth Vader, and he declares that the Musketeers are disbanded. That the Cardinal has said, "You're good. You can go home now. We've got the Cardinal's guys. He's going to protect the King and Queen. Enjoy." And they all separate on very amicable terms.
There's
And,
there's this one Musketeer, and it's like he's the voice of the Musketeers that are there, I guess.
yeah.
And it's odd because it's like he's sort of portly and middle-aged. All the other Musketeers look pretty musketeer-y, and this guy looks like pretty behind the bar, like serving ales. And he comes up and he's like, "Oh yeah, well, I do think that's a good idea." And then he just takes off his tunic and drops his sword and wanders off. He's like, "See you later."
You can't fire me. I quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens to musketeers when they get old, right? Is that they have their little billy club, and
They're Billy Club.
their club, their musketeer club, right? Because that's where this scene takes place, is the musketeer club.
At their headquarters, yeah.
And when you get too old to fight, then you just are the barkeep, and you make chamber pot runs and make the beds and
Give
make
everybody
food.
this stink eye.
Yeah. When I was your age, and then you sit in the corner on your days off and you just get fucking wasted, but they've got a chair with extra legs on the back so you don't fall over and kill yourself because they need you to work the kitchen.
I protected the king uphill both ways when I was your age.
Yep.
We even had swords. We had wooden swords that weren't called swords. They weren't even pokey.
They were called
We killed men with them anyway.
They were called bashers, brain bashers. We just whack guys with them. Anyways, so they all quit in protest. They do exactly what he wanted in protest, I guess. Except for three of them, the Three Musketeers, of course,
'Cause they weren't
who
there.
Aren't there?
And they're not being musketeer. They're not dressed up like musketeers. They're not being at large. They're just like going about their normal day.
Right, they're just hanging. They're
Yeah.
just chilling.
Talk
Drinking.
about falling ass backwards into history.
Yeah. Well, it's a fiction, Jackie. This didn't actually happen.
You know what I'm talking about. Just
Yeah.
Riptide. Just
Riptide,
keep going.
right, yep, okay.
Riptide.
Elsewhere, D'Artagnan is freelancing, fucking up some guys. He sees some ladies, and then some guys riding after him. And so he's like, I guess I got to kill those guys.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about what's going on here, but it's my sworn duty as a Frenchman to kill guys.
To freelance at a windmill.
Right.
Oh, and he does. And then the queen rides up with her D'Artagnan's girlfriend for later.
The lady in waiting.
Sure. And she's like, those are the queen's guards. And he's like, oh, she needs to get new ones because those guys suck. Also, they're dead.
They're dead.
I
They
killed
didn't make
them.
it. Yeah.
And then they're like,
standing on
"Oh."
this one's head still. His guts are all over my feet.
And they have a nice laugh. And then the lady in waiting tells the queen that she likes his boner.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Right.
And everything's fine.
Okay.
Those
bye.
men are dead.
Yeah. Well,
And the queen's really fairly unprotected now. At this point, you're like, oh, by the way, if you're going to be freelancing, you may as well come with us.
right.
Because you killed the
You
guards.
killed our only guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, job openings.
yeah.
Keeping the economy strong.
He's got to decline that job offer because his next stop is Musketeer headquarters because he wants to be a Musketeer because his dad was a Musketeer and the Musketeers are awesome and blah 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 blah. And despite the fact that mostly all they do is sword fight, why are they called Musketeers? I don't really know. There's a shot at the beginning when they're getting fired where they actually are carrying muskets, but then they don't really for the rest of the movie. And so again, shouldn't they be the three swords guys?
They have little handgun muskets.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
2 apiece.
No, those are pistols. Muskets
Yeah.
are.
I know that it's a full long thing.
Yeah.
Well, and what I want to know is when did they get cheap about the musketeer swords? Because Chris O'Donnell's character, he's got a gold-handled
Yeah,
sword, and
right,
it's all
right,
gem encrusted. And then you cut to the regular musketeer swords, and they've got an emblem on them.
They're at least sterling.
Yeah. But they're not that fucking
They're not-
fancy.
No, they're not that fancy.
And so, when was that budget cut?
Maybe his dad was such a good musketeer that he got that sword right before he fucked up his job and got the king killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got this beautiful sword. Well, can you use it? No, it's for looking at.
I'm admiring it. Right? Oh, you're dead as fuck. Oh, no.
Oh, whoopsie. Ooh. Ugh. I'll just be going then.
Yes. I have to get something out of my car. I'll be right back.
Okay, so D'Artagnan makes it to Musketeer headquarters, and it's all burned up, like torn apart and shit. And he finds Kifos. That's how I'm going to address these guys, because I'm not going to bother keeping their names straight.
He's Aramis.
Okay, he's Kifos for my.
You should call him
purpose.
Mr. Poopy.
You call him Muskrat Love.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, the Musketeers to me are Mr. Poopy, Captain Stupid, and the one that doesn't make much sense.
And he's like, oh yeah, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? Let's fight.
Yeah.
And I'll meet you behind the gym at noon during lunch break, and we'll beat each other up. Outside, he is chased by Paul McGann again, the sister honor guy, and while he's getting chased, he bumps into Plathos.
Porthos.
Plathos.
Portly. Just call him-
Captain Stupid.
I'm going to call him what I call him. They're Plathos. And he also is like, hey, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Let's fight. Okay, I'll see you behind the gym at 1. Meanwhile, Sheenos is
This is
banging
the
a
one that
lady.
doesn't make much sense.
He's banging a lady or attempting to bang a lady or something, and there's heaving bosoms, and Jackie and I like it. I don't know about Sam because he's kind of a weirdo. And her husband comes in and is like, hey, quit looking at my wife's heaving bosoms. Get out of here, you.
He doesn't even do that. He comes in, gun blazing. He comes in.
He shoots her. She's dead,
Yeah.
so he's out of her now.
He has a point blank shot and he misses by like 7 feet.
Whoopsie.
He's also part of the Cardinal Guard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Missed
So,
that.
they just took anybody who would sign up.
Yeah, right.
You get a prepayment of a loaf of bread.
They're like stormtroopers. pretty
They're
much.
like stormtroopers.
Right. And he lands on D'Artagnan in his escape and is like, hey, thanks for the landing. And D'Artagnan's like, hey, I didn't say you could land on me. And Sheenos is like, well, that's rude. Let's fight. I'll meet you behind the gym at 2.
I'm gonna burn a question right here. We just watched the Three Musketeers with Heston as the Cardinal and Oliver Reed as Porthos. And Michael York was D'Artagnan.
Right.
Do you remember Michael York being this much of a dickhead to this point already?
No.
No.
Yes. In fact, like right now you're like, man, this D'Artagnan guy is a dickhead. And I've read this. It was a dumbed down translation for teenagers, but
You mean the Three Musketeers
yes,
by
I've read the
Alexander Dumas?
yes.
Yeah.
He isn't a dickhead in the book.
No. This guy is like, it's not that he's like, I think you're making him sound by calling him a dickhead, like kind of a dumbass, but he's just a dick. He's just kind of a cock. He's
an unsufferable douche.
He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be his friend.
He's the guy with the big truck.
Yeah, he's a big truck guy. Like, he's constantly compensating for, like, his fucking shit. Like, oh, yeah, my dad was a musketeer, and so I'm fucking a musketeer. And also, you're a douche. No, you're a douche. Like, dude, shut the fuck up, D'Artagnan.
I'm going to pound this muscle milk.
Yeah.
That's the muscle milk. That's after you pound it like 3 hours later trying to poop.
It's trapped in there. Spray, Sam, spray.
And that's where the Howie scream came from. At the palace, Richelieu is trying to seduce the queen because he's not just a bit of a usurper. He's He's a rapist. You know, it's what he wants to do. Get in on top of her.
Yeah, he's not really even subtle about it.
No, it's pretty Weinstein-y, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, your king's gonna die, and you're gonna be my queen.
And I don't really care if he dies or not. Let me get on top of you.
Yeah. So what's that in your pocket? It's my wiener. Oh wait, you're not wearing pants. I just put it in your hand for you. Yeah.
I want to rub my greasy finger up your greasy spine. And she's like, but my spine's not greasy. And he's like, well, don't worry. My finger's greasy enough for both.
Yeah. I've been digging at my balls.
That's gross.
And I was digging at my balls and I had Lunchables.
While praying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a religious experience. When,
Summer
you know,
sausage, ball sweat. It's all on my hands right now.
Praise God.
Praise the God. I'm going to rub this on you because my hands are very oily.
I'm just trying to clean them off, actually. This whole pervy thing is a total misunderstanding.
Yeah, like,
just got
I was
greasy
really
hands.
going to be rapey, but my hands are so greasy right now.
I like greasy hands is a great comedy line. More people should be doing the greasy hands bit. Okay, so the king walks in and he's like, "Hey, how dare you fire my guys?" And Richelieu's like, "You signed the order." He's like, "Oh yeah,
but I was gonna do it myself.
yeah. What do you do it myself?" Like, dude, anytime somebody's like taking work off of my plate, good. Like, what the fuck, king?
I just don't have much to do. I was going to be an activity for me.
I just wander around stomping like I got potty pants.
I'm going to go listen to Dawkins now. Watch some hockey with my hockey hair.
So Wincott busts into a pub where the Three Musketeers are at. He tries to arrest them, and they're like, "Hey, you're a dickhead that we got kicked out of the Musketeers because you were behavior inappropriate for Musketeer, but we never were going to find out what that was, unless it was that whole king killing thing." Which
He lured D'Artagnan's dad into the crypt and killed him.
yeah, I think that doesn't get you kicked out of the Musketeers. I think that's like you're hung, like they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
You got the
assassinating the king.
Yeah.
And killing all of the guards but you. That's a hanging.
Yeah, that's
But his dad managed to get his eye.
okay.
Yep. Good
Justice.
Good job,
Dead
D'Artagnan, senior dead guy. You totally didn't fuck up your job, I guess. No, you did.
It's an eye for an eye. Actually, it's really not.
Yeah, no, it's not an eye for a king.
Yeah, right.
And you. Revenge.
I think that's like the second or the third
Yeah, so it's like
Hammurabi's Code reference in like as many podcasts.
Yeah. Also that he represented as much danger to Rutherford as, like, say, a raccoon.
Right, yeah.
A raccoon will also take an eye.
Maybe that's what happened. He was leaving the scene of the crime, and a raccoon jumped on his head. He's like, "Ah, fuck!" They're like, "What happened to your eye?" "I fought him off as best I could."
So he's like, "Arrest these men," and then Plathos rides a chandelier that's huge.
It's a wagon wheel.
It's a wagon wheel onto these men, crushing them
to death. They've
to
died.
death.
Yeah,
Like,
they're all dead.
They're not even like crumpled up. They're like parts are smushed. Like a fucking steamroller went over them, and they turn into that little flat paper cartoon character thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
One
to
guy-
mention that there's dead bodies everywhere in this room.
Right, they killed a bunch of, like, we want to drink at this bar. Well, we're drinking at this bar. Okay, then I'm going to kill you. They just killed a bunch of guys while they're drinking on top of their corpses. These guys might not be good guys.
And they high five with swords after making bad jokes.
Uh-huh.
They say that his name sounds like smelly cheese. And then they're like, "Ooh, call the burn ward." "Oh, burn, bro. Sword 5. But swords only have one blade. Sword 1, whatever."
So I want to just say about this sword fight before I forget. There is one scene where they're splitting up, right? And Kiefer Sutherland goes in to Porty and tries to do the low sword 5
Yeah.
and just hits him in the fucking crotch with his sword.
She just cock taps him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Not tap. Oh. Yeah, these guys are the worst fraternity ever.
They're total frat boys. Okay, so they get away from that sequence. And D'Artagnan's gonna meet up for his first duel with Kifos, and they're all there. Like, oh, hey, you're gonna fight this guy? Yeah, well, let's fight him. But then the Cardinals men ride up, and they all are like, hold on, dude, what's going on here? We got 4 of them. Well, yeah, there's 4 of us now, so now we're 4 Musketeers. You want to team up with us, dude? And he's like, hell yeah, I want to team up with you guys. Can I jack you off first? And he's like, what? Never mind that part.
Two
Let's
of them
kill
were
him.
like, yeah, and then one was like, we still have to sword fight. Jack off later. Jack each other off. Yay.
Circle jerk.
So then swashbuckling ensues.
Swashbuckling.
Yep, lots and lots of swashbuckling. I don't like it.
No, sword fights don't last long, and they're usually just people get killed by swords. Swashbuckling is tiring.
It's tiring, and I don't other than obviously when I was a child, but like, is there any sequence of swashbuckling that I actually like?
No.
Star Wars.
That's not swashbuckling.
It is kind of.
Not really.
They
like,
sword fight for a while on that shit.
Yeah, but they're also doing like using the force and
Yeah.
I think what makes this
using
so
the
hard.
environment is
The shooting is much better.
yeah.
And I think what makes it hard to watch this is because they have their what are those things called? Sabers.
Mhm.
And
No, sabers are
Rapier.
rapier. Yeah.
They might be cutlasses. I think rapiers are a little shorter.
Anyway, it's the fencing kind of sword, right? It's
Yes.
not like it's not a lightsaber. It's not a proper sword. And you're
A
just
Viking
like,
would split any of these people in half.
yeah. And I'm thinking, he just stabbed you a little bit. You're fine.
Yeah, okay. Like, it may not even go in.
Well, you're supposed to dance about and then just like stab them in the heart. Like this is like a claymore is like a hammer. This sort of sword is more like a scalpel.
A needle, as it were.
You can do
Arya.
you can kill someone.
See,
just
Arya
as,
had a rapier. Needle was a rapier. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure these are cutlasses.
you can do you can kill someone just as quick with this. You just have to be super precise. And so it's more of a skillful sort of sword
It's
fighting.
surgical.
Very surgical, yes.
Not the way these guys
yeah.
were doing
No,
it.
these dandies are fucking jammering about all over. Yeah, I can jump and spin.
And it's. I mean, again, Pirates of the Caribbean. That's
The only sword fighting worse is the second Pirates of the Caribbean. When in a sword fight, they swashbuckle across an island.
Yeah.
It takes 27 minutes of. I was like laying on the floor of the theater, tired of that sword fight.
yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah. No, swashbuckling sucks. Screw you. Star Wars does not have swashbuckling.
I like it when Danny Kaye does it because he's funny.
Yeah.
Because he realizes it sucks.
Yeah.
And he makes it fun.
Right.
Right. Well, he was a good physical comedian.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Hell of an answer too.
Yeah. And
So-
a singer.
Yeah. So they all split up, and Michael Wincott finds D'Artagnan, and he jousts him off his horse.
They
Like
do.
with these little tiny swords. What?
He just like rides his horse by, and Michael Wincott hits the back of his sword, which prompts him to throw it on the ground and fall on his head.
Right.
Yep.
Like, I don't think you get knocked off your horse from that, buddy.
No,
You're
you
kind
don't.
of a weenie.
No, you go past, he stabs you in the side, and you're like, haha, I got your sword, and then you just fucking take off.
I got your sword. Look at it. It's inside of my body. I don't feel good.
So they take him to the dungeon. He immediately escapes because the guards are dumbasses.
Well, it's because he's ordered to take him lower.
Right.
And you're like, there's dirt. We're in a cave. It doesn't go
We
lower.
are
Also,
in the dungeon.
This is it.
It's not like a parking garage, sir. It's the dungeon. That's
Yeah.
the bottom.
Take him below.
Take him below.
Below what?
What's below? Like
Death.
There's like a shittier
grave.
dungeon under the dungeon.
like
The sewer.
they just got a stairwell to hell. You're like, take him down to Satan.
This one's got poo and some sparse twigs in it. That one's just bare rock.
Yeah, set him on the bedrock.
Yeah.
That's where he lives now. Okay, cool. I'm at the bottom of the earth. There's a nice cave in there, and the dinosaurs are there. It's very green and lush, and the dinosaurs live in it. Yeah, I like it down here.
Yeah. That sounds like it sucks too.
Apparently, you're not a big Jules Verne fan, Sam.
No, I don't. No, I'm not. I think it sucks.
Okay, well, maybe I've just lined up a movie pick, 2003's Journey to the Center of the Earth, starring Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be bad. The one with Doug McClure's not good. I just watched that not very long ago, and it stunk.
Hey, kids, it's me, Don McClure.
You may recognize me from such films as
Things that Sam likes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also like the Journey to the Center of the Earth with Will Ferrell. I actually thought that movie was
I never
fun.
saw that
Yeah.
one.
it was funny.
People hated it. I kind of liked it.
That was Land of the Lost.
Oh, that was Land of the
And I
Lost.
liked that
So,
show.
Same movie.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's an island. It's not in the middle of the earth.
Yeah.
Far less outlandish.
I also like the Journey to the Center of the Earth directed by Albert Pyong. If you've never seen that, wooey!
I have not seen that one.
It's real bad.
I bet.
Okay, so anyways, he gets out and he doesn't escape. He like sees the cardinal meeting up with a hot lady, and so he's like, I better check that out. Maybe I'll see something happen. And so he listens in on their conversation, and it's the cardinal and Rebecca de Mornay's character, the Countess de Winter, who they're plotting to sign a treaty with England that says, attack us and the king will die.
Fake war. I'm going to
Fake
kill
war,
the
I'm
king.
gonna kill
It
the
doesn't
king.
make a lot of sense.
Then I'm
what's
going to take
happening.
over and I'll be king, and then everything will be good with England. What? Like, okay. England gets that treaty and they're like, what?
What?
Well, why did they name her the Lady de Winter? Because duh.
Oh, Lady De Winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
of, isn't it?
In Froggy,
Yeah. Duh.
I'm guessing. Did.
Of. So the of.
Yeah.
Still stupid.
The of Winter.
The of winter.
Well, she would be Countess of Winter. Countess de Winter. Not the Countess. Not Countess the of Winter.
If it's Rebecca de Mornay, it's Countess my boner. And she's like, 1. Thank you. You're good at counting.
Okay. So he escapes, or he gets nabbed again, and they're like, tell us where the Three Musketeers are. And he's like, I'll never talk. Okay, well, we're going to kill
He
you.
says, tell us where the Musketeers are. And he's like, I still don't know. And then Michael Wincott's like, yeah, he already told me he doesn't know this. We've established he doesn't know this. And he's like, yeah. They're like, okay, we're going to cut off your head. And he's like, no, don't do that. And they're like, okay, why not? And he's like, go ahead. That's how that scene actually plays
It
out.
really does play out like that.
Yeah.
Okay, great that we watched all of that.
You're like, why even have this?
Right.
You know so much got cut out that this thing probably in its test run was like 2.5 hours long, 3 hours long.
Right.
And then they just like ripped it to shreds, and this somehow stays in.
Yeah. So he's sentenced to death. Fortunately for him, his executioners are Plathos and Chinos. And so they do the whole, aha, and they escape.
Yeah.
Much
Oh.
to the disappointment of
The
Fembot.
stuntman that had to shoot this scene. Because right after some haha and some tomfoolery, a lot of shots of obviously not them.
Unnecessarily. Like, these
Yes.
stunts aren't that dangerous.
No.
Get your ass out of the fucking trailer and go shoot that shit, you lazy piece of shit.
Well, there's one point where Chris O'Donnell's stuntman has a fucking beard.
Right?
Like a black beard on. And I'm like,
his
what?
job is just riding in a carriage.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
It's a long shot of the carriage ride.
There's also shots of you guys on the carriage. You did it. Just do it, all of it. Because we can see it's a stunt man doing a non-dangerous stunt.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I think they just screwed up shots and had to do pickups.
They might have had to do pickups. Like, god damn.
Like they ended up going over on this shit, and second unit had to stay behind with other guys and do all the longs over again.
Right.
That's what I think happened.
Ugh. So carriage chase ensues, and we're gonna skip quite a bit ahead on it because it's long and arduous with swashbuckling and
they throw out the
cheesy
Cardinals'
lines,
money.
Yeah, and
They're drinking his beer.
sword fives and jerk offs. It ends though with them lighting the carriage on fire and pushing it into the gunpowder show.
It's a gunpowder camp.
Well,
Is
no,
it-
there's like colored tents and stuff and like flags and banners like, come get your gunpowder at the Gunpowder Expo.
Yeah, it is. There's nothing but tents,
It's a gunpowder
And
trade show.
gunpowder just in the road.
We've
What?
We've released our newest line of gunpowder. Come see our keynote speaker.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Right.
It's like, what are we doing now? Explosion. End scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just an excuse to blow something up.
Yeah.
Well, at least they took the horses off the carriage.
Yeah.
Just run the horses back the other
Well,
way.
they had to ride those horses to escape, too.
Right.
Oh,
Because they're on their way to Calais to cut off Rebecca de Mornay, Countess de Winter.
Countess de Boner.
Yeah, Countess de Boner, so that they can get that treaty that the Duke of Buckingham's going to be like, the fuck? The fuck is going on in France? I've got other things to worry about.
And then he decides that England is just as silly and starts slapping himself on the head and doing a silly dance.
Yeah, right. I've got this Jeffrey Epstein thing to clean up. Hey,
Oh.
Well-
whoa, conspiracy.
and if you really think about it, the Duke is the next in line if there's no successor or if there's no heir to the throne.
No,
The
there
Duke-
is. He lives in Las Vegas. He's a lounge singer. So that's
No,
fine.
that's King Ralph.
Yeah.
This is Paris, not.
You were talking about
So
England,
if
though.
this guy is a French Duke, he's in line for the throne. Why the fuck would he help
No.
the Cardinal get?
I don't think you know where Buckingham is, even though you've been there.
It's in England. The Duke's in England.
Yeah, but if he's a French Duke,
He's
No,
not.
he's not
He's
a French
English.
Duke. He's literally the Duke of Buckingham.
oh, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Then.
And somewhere in France.
Okay, never
no.
mind.
Meet my sister, the Countess of Windsor.
Yeah, they're going to put on a fake war so they can kill kings, and it doesn't make any sense to me how that's going to work.
Right.
But it's going to work.
Okay, so anyways, so they're on their way, but they have to spend the night in a pub so that they can teach D'Artagnan on how to wench properly. Proper wenching.
Proper wenching. Picking up the waitresses.
Which are
I could
asked
swear
this,
they're waitresses.
I asked this during the podcast because in Game of Thrones, you pay for wenches, and in Skyrim, it's implied that they're prostitutes.
Okay.
But I also thought that like in Viking wenches, they're just barmaids or like German
Yeah.
beer ladies.
I thought
Those
they
are
were
wenches, right?
Just the beer ladies? I don't know what it is.
Are they like dual role, like kind of like a massage parlor, like you massage and or jack people off? I don't know.
I don't know either.
So I want to know: were you guys more impressed with the words or with the kissing? What would really get you going if you were a bar wench?
The heaving bosoms, that was mostly what I was impressed with.
No,
Well,
but if you're a bar wench
Yeah.
and you got to pick
Cash.
That's
Cash
what
money.
they're
Yeah.
impressed with.
Yeah, cash money.
Is
I don't
the
really
cash.
care. I mean, I think I'm a prostitute, so say whatever you're gonna say. And also, there's no kissing in prostitution, so because of Pretty Woman. So probably just the words, because I'm just sitting there getting paid.
one, yeah, the less that they put their dirty mouths on you, the better.
Yeah.
I don't think toothbrushes were a thing then.
No.
They do go through where he doesn't do the poetry but he does the kissing okay.
Yeah,
And it's this whole scene stinks.
it's terrible.
Yeah, he's a big truck guy. He's never going to remember all that poetry.
No.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen's a poet, and he's giving some schmarmy. He's just quoting Shakespeare, and they're
Right.
like, "Gah."
I did write some of my own
Okay,
wenching
okay.
poetry.
Wenching poetry.
And I am operating under the assumption that the wenches are the waitresses. This is how to pick up waitresses.
Okay, let's all
with
get into
poems.
the time machine that Sam has built so for his evil purposes of banging ladies.
Yeah.
And put ourselves in the age of Renaissance France.
It started when during the podcast or during our viewing, I said, "I might look like a loner, but you give me a boner."
It's definitely romantic.
Yeah. But then I came up with these other ones that I think are a little bit better or worse, depending on how you like your bad jokes. I like your sass. Now give me that ass.
oh.
Put down that ice scooper, and I'll eat your pooper. From Vine's plump grape sang, "Do you want to bang?"
Oh my god, I can hardly breathe.
From light yonder window breaks, "Feed me boob steaks."
Oh boy.
I just laid a steamer. Hold on to my wiener.
Okay, that was good. It didn't even rhyme. Where's the pentathic?
Poetic license. I've got one right here. Leave the ale on the rack and rub down my ball sack. Are you Rebecca de Mornay? Because you make me horny. This wine is shitty. Show me one titty.
Just one, though. Just one. That's all I can afford.
And finally, poems make me weepy. Please slap my pee-pee.
I like the poop scoop and I like the titty steaks.
I think they would have all worked as well as anything that Chaz did.
Your jokes were funny, but your iambic pentameter was quite off, sir.
If I was a bar wench, I'd be like, and do you have any coin?
Yeah.
All right, I'm setting down the ice cream scooper. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, fine. I'm going to see how this plays out.
Okay, so the next day, now that that's out of the way, they're riding next to this castle, which starts shooting cannons at them, because I guess they got good vision, and so they have to split up. Back at the palace, the cardinal is going ahead and helping himself to a look at the queen's butt.
Yeah, she's also, it seems to be, she's bathing in semen.
That's buttermilk.
That's buttermilk?
Yeah, that's what I call it, too.
I think I've seen buttermilk, and that looks like semen.
It's icing from a cinnamon roll, Sam. They're they're French. They like their confectionaries.
Okay. Sticky.
Yeah, it's sticky. But Cardinal Richelieu's like, let me clean that off of you with my greasy palm.
Yeah, I can get you greasy like my hand. I can't clean you because of the balls in the summer sausage. Both so oily. There's no napkins in all of France.
Yeah, I don't think that, like, after this, he goes too far here. Like, even for him being leery and creepy, like, I'm pretty sure any queen is going to, send a raven to her father, the King of Austria,
Sure.
and be like, I need something done
Get
about this
the
guy.
Pope to do something about this rapey fucker.
Yeah, or you go to your husband, or you've got your own Queen's Guard, and you're like,
Yeah.
just take him out. Just take him out. He's gone too far. He leered at me while I was bathing. How did he even get in here?
Either that or you have somebody punch you in the cheek, invite him to your room, and stab the shit out of him and say he was trying to rape you.
Yeah, you're fucking dead. You've gone too far here, Cardinal Richelieu.
Yeah.
You don't get to look at the Queen's butt.
Or, you're royalty. You get to make up the most cockamamie excuses. Like, he just fell on that knife 37 times.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's bad at walking.
Mm-hmm.
Around knives, especially.
Boy. So, D'Artagnan and Kiefer Sutherland are talking about the plot of Star Wars when they get attacked because you knew my father? Yeah, he was a musketeer, and he was a hell of a musketeer, also a pretty good starfighter pilot. And
He says, I didn't know your dad. I just knew his reputation.
And he was betrayed by a fellow musketeer and murdered by him.
Which...
Oh, so Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
they're like, oh, but you stood against me in trial, so I didn't know your dad, but I did. Like, he's being too mysterious for no reason.
Right. It's so dumb. Okay, so they split up while Kiefer Sutherland holds the guys that are chasing him off with a gun. So now it's just D'Artagnan on his way to Calais,
And we should mention, because we didn't, that the Cardinal at this point has sent pigeons out to every assassin so that, with 1,000 gold pieces per head.
Uh-huh.
And this whole scene, Tim Curry's got this one pigeon with a note on it, and he releases that one, and then all these pigeons just make a break for it, and not one of them has a note on its
I
leg.
don't think the first one has a note on it. And the first one's really trying to escape. But yeah, he just released the pigeons, and then a minute later, the guy comes up with the messages. And he's like, do we have more pigeons? Oh.
Send out the squirrels, then.
We already released the squirrels, too. What the fuck?
God, what do we got? We got cats? You got any more cats? No, we ate the cats, sir.
They're all currently working on Broadway.
Boo.
Yeah, call it work.
Yeah. They're in cat limbo, sir. Sorry, we don't have any more cats. Badgers. Do we have badgers?
Message badgers are. They're it's a coin toss on those ones.
Yeah, you end up like kumquat every time. Message for you, sir. Oh. Okay, so the cardinal and the king are discussing his birthday party, where the cardinal reveals to us via sneering and, "Oh, yes, your birthday party is going to be something to remember." So apparently he's going to kill him at his birthday party.
Yeah.
So why do you need that Buckingham guy again?
Right? I don't get it.
So I guess the threat of war looming will make both the kings like, oh, we have to put the king's guard on the front lines. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Religious guy.
Right?
No, it sucks.
Oh, and by the way, we've also disbanded the King's Guard over here, so we're good.
Yeah, like it's already done. If you're gonna assassinate the president or the king, like I don't know why you got to get England's permission to do it. I just don't fucking get it.
Well, they're gonna do like a double whammy.
Yeah, double whammy.
They're gonna kill their king too, so that duke can ascend.
Oh yeah, I'll kill our king too. Yeah. It's just who cares? Who fucking cares? You got your own problems. Take care of that Jeff Epstein thing. You know, don't worry about what France is doing. You know, mind your own shit, huh?
You know, P's and Q's.
Yeah. Sheesh. How rude. So D'Artagnan is riding along and he falls off his horse because I guess he got shot in the shoulder or something. And the Countess de Winter's carriage rides up and she's like, "Ooh, a man!" And sticks him in with her and then tries to hump his bones out inside of her palace in Calais. And he's like, "Wait, suddenly I'm not interested in chicks."
She can't. She tries to stand up, but she can't because the entire camera assembly is inside of her tits.
Yeah, she's got a Steadicam strapped right to her rack.
It is the whole setup. The director of photography, the assistant camera person are inside her tits. Disney.
Cut! No, don't cut. We're in here.
We're in here.
It's nice. It's warm.
Send sandwiches.
We can fit craft services in here, can't we?
Yeah, no, this is for us. We did. In fact, you should leave. I got a thing I got to do here.
Hey, look, boob steaks.
Boob steaks, my favorite. I'm gonna have to try that.
Boob steaks?
Yeah. Well, no, the line.
The lime.
The line with boob steaks.
Okay,
like,
all right.
Yeah, like what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yummy. Boob steaks.
Have you guys heard of Chance the Rapper? Because I sure would like to put it in your crapper.
That's your bar pickup line from now on.
Well, I'm just following the master's example. Obi-Wan taught you well. Okay, so he's like, I can't bang right now because I'm on a mission from the king to find a spy, and she's like, a spy? Oh my! And he's like, yeah, a spy that's she's got long hair, it's blonde, she's busty. I don't know who it is though. Oh, busty and blonde hair. Well, I hope you find her. And so she tries to kill him. And he prevents that from happening, but then he gets nabbed by her dudes who are not going to kill him. I don't really know.
No, a karate guy shows up.
Fucking Ninja Butler.
Because it was like, oh, we got to have martial arts. Van Damme's still hot.
Right.
I think they approached Van Damme for this, and he said, fuck off.
Fuck off, man.
Well, and he sees that the Le Fleur on her arm, too.
The fleur de lis?
Yeah.
The Le Fleur.
Yeah, whatever.
The fleur.
The Fleurs.
God.
The Fours.
And so he knows that is, or it could be, Keith Sutherland's wife.
And the tale of Keith Sutherland, they were married, and he'd never seen this, is on her shoulder, Dick.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, what? I mean, I could get it. Like,
It's not even a tattoo, it's a brand. So it's lumpy. Like, you never, okay, sure. Right.
Whatever.
So they take him to their boat that they're going to sail to England in. And but I don't know if I don't make him walk the plank, or if it's just like you're my my cabin boy now. I don't know what they're doing with him. But everybody on the boat is dead except for the Three Musketeers, who have killed everybody.
Yep, this sounds like a great plan. Once again, they go into a place and slaughter everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then posted up their bodies like puppets.
Yep. Swashbuckling ensues.
Swashbuckling ensues. At least it's limited this time around.
She runs away.
Yeah.
Right into Kiefer Sutherland's arms, and he's like, "Hey, it's you. Oh, shit." And she's like, "Hey, how about you let me go?" And he's like, "I can't do that." And, okay.
She's like, all right.
Then the guy comes up behind her and he's like, you killed my brother. Fuck you, bitch. You're going to prison.
Who the fuck was her brother?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Some
Who's this
guy so she married like a rich guy and killed him so she could have.
Oh, the Count de Winter?
Yeah.
That's the brother of Count
Yeah.
de Winter? Okay, all right, because that was not established who the
No.
fuck this guy is. Anyways, she's arrested, and Kiefer Sutherland's like, "Oh, I need some information from her first, so I'm going to go visit her in her cell." And she's like, "I'm taking everything to the grave with me, you motherfucker.
Sure.
But I still love you." And so the next day, they take her up onto a cliff, and a guy's going to chop her head off with a sword that's way too small. And she's like, wait. Kiefer Sutherland? I like your balls.
I like your balls.
That's not what happens. He stops it and he runs up to her and he's like, "You need to forgive me for putting you on this path in life."
I know,
She's
not
like,
what I do.
I forgive you for that. Please take a bath.
In cinnamon roll icing.
Yeah.
So it's good for your skin.
No, she wants him to take a real bath because his hair is really dirty.
Yeah, right. He's gross. She gives up the fucking secret about that they're gonna shoot him at his birthday party.
Sure.
And he's like, "Wow, thanks for the tip." Wait, whoa! She falls off the cliff to her death.
It's a funny suicide.
It's a little hokey
Because she doesn't like dramatically fall backwards
Uh-huh.
and just let herself go off the cliff. She like turns around and goes, "Aya!" and just sort of like jumps off.
Yeah, she
Like,
does
"Whee!"
a spin kick midair.
You're like, what?
Yatsa!
Yep.
I think she thought she was going to do that comedic thing where if you don't look down, you're suspended
Sure.
in air. But then she was going to look down and then fall to her death. But she didn't realize that she's not a cartoon character. So she's dead. They all ride back and they are rallying up the rest of the Musketeers who were retired. Like
They just shoot arrows. They only have one shot of this and they use it twice.
Right.
Well, it sucks.
Uh-huh.
And all it does is all for one and one for all. No specific direction.
a message. Who could it be from? What?
This is it?
Okay.
All right. I guess that means
All right.
round up everything and go to the base.
Yeah. Sure. Secret code. Whatever. Maybe there was like that lemon juice trick where you invisible ink type thing. We missed that part. I don't know.
I think we were supposed to have all bought in the soundtrack by now.
Right.
Knew
Right, yeah.
that if it's all for one, it's all for love,
Correct. Okay.
which still wouldn't get you to go to the base.
So they're having the king's birthday. A sniper's up on the roof. D'Artagnan sees him and runs up the stairs of the book depository building and dive tackles the sniper. And they have a swashbuckling on top of the roof.
Swashbuckling.
Why he hangs on to a flag.
Yeah. And down in the courtyard, all the musketeers have shown up, and they're having swashbuckling down there against the Cardinals men.
Yeah, and this is again where you have, if you know that Chaz didn't show up for the sword training, you're watching this in puzzling fashion going, these guys fucking did this for 6 weeks and he's still better at it and he just fucking showed up from Hot Shots Part 2.
So did they do the training after they shot the movie?
Yeah.
Because I'm confused.
Because, like, they get Platt on screen and he just shoots an old man.
Uh-huh.
Like 3 of them right in a row.
And then you're like, those are the Cardinals guard?
Yeah.
That guy was like 86.
They don't have the luxurious retirement plan that they do for the Musketeers, where you just get to.
Die, musketeers.
Yeah. How about you? On guard. Oh, he shot me. And then you're like, really? I'm an old man. You could have stabbed me with your sword.
Have you seen my keys? Where are my dentures? Okay, so inside, the cardinal has nabbed the king and queen. and he's about to kill the king when all the musketeers run in and they break that up. So Wincott and Kiefer Sutherland are fighting.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen tries to arrest the cardinal, but he gets shot in the balls.
Yes, he shoots him right in the dick.
Right. He's a dick shooter. Cock shot.
In the previous scene, though, we have to mention that Oliver Platt has a gun knife.
He does
Not
have a gun
knife
Yeah,
gun.
right.
It's a gun that just turns into a knife, which is stupider than a knife gun, which isn't even a thing.
Shinos is okay though because he has a cross protecting his balls, I guess.
And it's on his chest. It's like, no,
You got shot in the balls, dude.
you got shot in the ball. Check downstairs.
You even showed it in slow motion.
Yeah.
We saw it happen.
Yeah, the cardinal can't lift his arms up that high.
So D'Artagnan's like, hey, hold on, this Michael Wincott guy is my mortal enemy. I'll take over. So they start fighting.
After Kiefer Sutherland basically beats him in the sword fight.
Right.
And he's like, oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm going to just go hang out over here. Because he just kind of fucks off. And then there's a long fight.
Yeah, there's some other fighting that's taking place. Like,
Who else didn't have to do the sword training? Michael Wincott.
Because
he's already really good at
he's
sword
already
fighting.
really good at sword fighting.
And that he was like, you guys did 6 fucking weeks of training.
Oh my God, I don't know how I keep working with assholes like this.
There's a couple of times when he's like, I'm lower billing to these fucknuts. Jesus.
God, my brother's better than these guys.
Okay,
maybe that's pushing it. I really like Michael Wincott. He's
I
by
love Michael.
far the best actor in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even
though
though
we-
his voice.
Not his career. Obviously, that's Tim Curry. But in this particular movie, he's better than everybody else.
he's better than everybody else in Prince of Thieves as well.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Why wasn't Michael Wincott like as big a thing as Brad Dourif? And why isn't Brad Dourif as big of a fucking thing as Brad Pitt?
Well, there's a reason there.
Oh, yeah, right. Handsome. Damn it.
Handsome business.
Okay. Okay. So, Morgan Freeman? Could we say Brad Dourif should be as big of a thing as Morgan Freeman?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, Brad Dourif should be as big of a thing as Morgan Freeman. Also both great voice actors.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, D'Artagnan kills Michael Wincott with the help of his girlfriend.
And her tits that the camera gets inside of.
Her heaving bosoms. And the Cardinal's getting away, but Charlie Sheen's on the boat, and he's like, hey, you're under arrest, fucker. And the King's like, oh, not on my watch. Punch.
And the cardinal's like,
Yeah.
what? Why did you let him do that?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That was your...
That's it?
That's your punch?
Because I was like, I'm never letting you hurt anyone again. And you're like, allow me. Now he's wet and punched. That's it.
And that's the last we see of Cardinal Richelieu.
In the novels, he doesn't die, right? Like he's the antagonist through all 3.
But did they arrest him?
Or at least the first 2.
Does he go down? Send him below. Is he now in the below from the dungeon? Like I don't know, because that's the last we see of him.
No, he just goes back to the church and
Starts
has
up
a
again.
sore face and gets an unwet set of clothes and is
Okay.
fine.
All right. Good story work, guys. There's an award ceremony. Chewbacca does get a medal this time, and D'Artagnan's made a musketeer. And outside, the sister honor guy is still looking to get killed, and I'm led to believe that he does. The entire musketeer battalion chases after one man and stabs him many
Yeah,
times.
why
Well, he's there with his brothers. It's not just him.
Well, 5 against the
30.
entire force of the musketeers. I don't think they made it, Jackie. I think they're dead.
Also, they left the king by himself, and he is totally
he
dead
also
now.
died. Yeah, because Cardinal Richelieu was just changing his clothes.
And he didn't even.
Mm-hmm.
He just slipped and fell down on his wig head and died. He's a fucking idiot. And the queen's like, "Oh, I liked him, but he's a fucking idiot." Yeah, that hair was bad.
I heard the Duke of Buckingham is much handsomer.
The Duke of Earl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I want to ask the first question,
Sure.
guys. What the fuck, Sting? Why are you such a douche? Seriously. The police were so cool, and you suck so hard.
Hey, he's going to feed the world.
Yeah, right? I mean, anytime Sting is separated from the other, what's his name? I'm blanking. Stuart Copeland. Dude, he sucks so hard.
Yeah.
And he's a total nutsack, too. The other two, Rod Stewart and Bryan Adams, this is where they're at in their career, right?
Dude, they live here.
They live in this genre of music.
Yeah.
Like Celine Dion's coming in to team up with them at any given point. Sting, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, this is, I think, the worst. We made the movie around the song.
It sucks.
This
so
song
hard.
sucks.
It blows. It's one of the worst pop songs ever made.
I don't change the radio station still. If it comes on, I listen to it.
It's so cheesy, though, Jackie.
It is cheesy. I'm not saying it's a great song or anything. I just, when you're driving home from work and it's like comes on, you're like, oh yeah, I know this song.
I don't even like. Oh God! Like thinking of Delilah. You guys remember Delilah?
Yeah.
The easy listening lady.
Yeah.
Delilah. I don't even know if she would play this shit.
No, she would. She's
She
like, oh,
would.
that's shit.
She'd be like, oh, Dorothy wants to say happy anniversary to her husband.
Yeah. Right.
We're going to play this.
He really likes Musketeers.
Can you help me out, Delilah?
Okay, that's my only question.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
How many times did either the focus start soft and never get better, or the person walked out of the focal length, making the shot soft that I caught in our viewing?
32.6 times.
No.
Okay.
Not that high.
Okay.
I'm going to say at least 10.
Oh, so this is a trivia question?
No, this is what I counted 9 times.
I didn't count them, Sam. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that, like, I'm asking you, the question is for you guys. The answer is 9.
Okay.
I caught 9 times where the focus was soft. That's a lot. Like 1 or 2 in a B movie is like, oh, that's not very excusable.
Right.
9 times.
9 times.
At least.
Wow. I don't have any questions.
Yeah.
You wrapped it up pretty nicely for me.
Other than the fact that the movie can't wrap itself up, because I'm pretty sure that king is dead. That was probably the biggest thing I would think of is what happens now, but I think we know.
More bullshit that no one cares about?
So let's just wrap this one up, guys. Final recommendations. I'm going to start. I didn't like it at all. Not worth a revisit. It was tedious and just too corny and hammy and groan-inducing. Jackie?
I'm going to give it a do.
Okay.
I liked it. It was just kind of, I will say the swashbuckling went on way too long, but for the overall, I really enjoyed the performances of Tim Curry and old Cyclops.
Yeah, Michael Wincott. He's always great.
Yeah, and, it's not a bad storyline or anything.
What? It literally didn't make any sense.
Made total sense to me.
You couldn't answer the plot. The plot is to assassinate a king and then profit. Step 3 is profit. We don't know what step 2 is.
Well, I still liked it.
It's a pretty good story. What's step 2?
It's a popcorn movie.
Got nothing.
I'll give it a popcorn. It's a popcorn movie, and I thought it was fun.
Okay. Sam?
Should I watch this thing like 15 times now? I've watched it twice in the last month.
Whoa. Okay.
Because I watched it to like preview to make sure it was that bad
Yeah.
that we were going to do it, and I ended up watching the whole thing instead of the first 20 minutes like I usually do. So it's like, I like this movie. I'm not sure why.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
I'm done
moves
with it.
fast enough. It's odd to me that the action sequences are boring, but the non-action sequences are fun because they're so fucking stupid.
Right.
So it's like a 51% too.
Yeah.
If you've seen it recently, don't do it again. I think that if you're going to do it, you should do it with like 5 people and riff the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's the most fun way to do this.
Yeah, I could give it a do on that. But I think as far as viewing for viewing purposes, I will never watch this movie for the rest of my life. I am done with it. Got some listener feedback here. We got a new review on iTunes. Thank you very much for doing that. If you don't know, basically iTunes holds a monopoly on how podcast gets ranked and listeners found. And so the more positive reviews a podcast has, the better for it. So please feel free to review us on your favorite listening platform. This one comes from listener Making Bad Movies Better. If you like HD TGM, How Did This Get Made, and the Flophouse, you will love Jackie, Sam, and Justin's take on the best bad movies ever made.
Oh, wait, did you hear that? I got first billing.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Last is more important. These three friends are funny, irreverent, knowledgeable, and totally woke. We are?
Are we?
What's woke?
I think we could be a little more woker. I mean,
Most
What
of
the
the
hell
time
is
I am
woke?
sleepy.
Jackie says some pretty offensive shit.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what
yeah.
woke means. What does that mean?
Look it up. And they cut up about crappy films like pros. They may not fill auditoriums with paying fans on live gigs like How Did This Get Made, but they give just as good wit and wisdom as those guys, all from their Midwestern basement surrounded by corgis. And nobody makes a bad joke quite as endearing as Jackie. Thanks for the great entertainment, guys. Keep it coming. Thank you very much for the review. We love them, and we certainly love you
Yes, thank you.
in the same way that Cardinal Richelieu loves you.
I think you should let me speak first
Slip
from
out
now
of
on.
that bathtub there, making bad movies better. Let me get a look at that ass.
And then we'll greasy palm you.
Yeah,
Wow.
right up the back.
You like that? You're going to get a zit there.
Ooh, yeah, it's gonna hurt real bad. Like in like 2 weeks, and it's gonna be in that spot where you can't get at it, so you got to ask a friend to pop a zit on your back.
You just make sure he hasn't dug at his balls and handled the summer sausage first. 'Cause we'll
Right.
just make more zits.
Yeah, now you've got an infection.
Got
That's the type of love we have for you.
You got summer sausage back knee.
We've got to wrap this up, but I do want to get one streaming do's and don't out of the way that we promised weeks ago.
Sure.
On Netflix, starring Ryan Reynolds and directed
Oh.
by Michael Bay, Six Underground. Don't. In a word,
It's so bad.
it sucked.
Oh, yeah. You just don't connect with
Don't.
anybody. You're like, I hope all of you fuckers die. Every last one
Yeah.
of you, especially Ryan Reynolds' character, who knows he has an illegitimate kid. He's not going to take care of it.
Nope. It was awful. It was tough to watch.
I did sort of start to really like how the guy that wasn't Antonio Banderas was
Right.
trying to be Antonio Banderas so hard and failing miserably. That was the only good part that I pulled away from it.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck is Michael Bay? I mean, we don't deal with Michael Bay very much on the show because his movies are so fucking goddamn long. We don't have time.
Yeah.
What is he?
So originally Michael Bay, and
Is he a person?
Yeah.
Or is he from someplace else?
so it's just a reapplication of the Arkoff formula.
Okay.
That's what Michael Bay is. Michael Bay is the guy that will make movies for the 19-year-old kid so that his girlfriend and his brother also go see it.
No, I understand why he makes money. I don't understand him as a human being. Like like all of his movies have this level of comedy in them that is baffling. Like,
He's a douche.
has he ever heard of a comedic formula before? Like the thought of maybe a punchline, like something like that, like wit, sarcasm, things of those. It's just like he has this timing in his movies where there should be a laugh track applied because we need to be told that something's funny.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make his jokes are just flat.
He's
And this
just-
movie has got Ryan Reynolds' Captain King joke in it, so it's chock full of them, and I hated it.
Well, you know, Reynolds has got to be allowed to freewheel because he's one of the producers.
Okay,
So he's allowed to freewheel all over the place, and it still sucks.
it still sucks.
Well, and they got the drummer from Queen, the guy who played the drummer from Queen,
Okay.
from the Queen movie.
Uh-huh.
They got him doing parkour. And I just
Right.
wanted to fucking punch his fucking brains out.
Yeah, that was a bad move on Michael Bay's part, putting parkour in that.
Fucking hate parkour.
Yeah, she hates parkour.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me jump over this ridiculously short wall.
But then
Look at me.
Is that your-
Look at me.
Is that your techno music?
Yeah.
Was that
The best parkour
was that
ever.
your MDMA music?
Yeah. So the best parkour ever was still in The Punisher with Ray Steven.
Ray
And
Stevenson.
yeah, Ray Stevenson.
Ray
When
Stevens.
where he streaked. And then he
Call it the street. Does a backflip over that building while he's naked.
where he blew up the parkour guy.
Yeah, right. Of course. That's all we got for this week, guys. Next
Oh,
week.
wait. We do have one more thing, Justin.
Okay.
It's your birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Today.
Let's move on.
It's his birthday yesterday.
Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to me and happy birthday to the ground. And also, thanks for listening. We will be off next week, but the week after that, what will we be doing, Jackie?
We are doing Beyond the Law.
Starring Charlie Sheen.
More Chaz.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
was inspired by Sam's pick.
All right. There you go. Beyond the Law next week. Have a good one. Get to the chopper. What?
And it's
And it's
all for
run and roll love.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening and get to the chopper.